This is the Midnight Hour.
I can't get no sleep. My demons keep on haunting me. They never ever let me breathe. I can't get no sleep. Most keep closing in on me. The fear won't ever leave. I can't get no sleep.
Salutations. Welcome. I am Midnight. Let us dispense with all pretense. Let us, for episode 70.2, do away with all pomp and circumstance, all formality, and some of the pleasantries. This episode is not for everyone. This is specific. This is for the weary, ever so weary chameleons. I speak not of politicians. I speak not of fraudsters, scammers, liars. I'm being specific and respectful. I know all too well, for those to whom I speak, more often than not, what you hear either sounds like or it makes you feel like I do understand. I am careful with what I say. I choose my words equally so. I tend not to say I understand. More often I say I empathize. But in this case, in this particular case, I do understand. And for those, again, to whom I speak, my message is meant to be clear. I see you. I know that you have been through much. Early on, and ever since. You have done your best on your own merit to be accepted, to fit in. And yet, you have suffered greatly. You do well not to show it. But nonetheless, your scars are there. I can only speak with such familiarity because I share those scars. The first true pain that you felt was not from a stranger. In all likelihood, it was from one who you could never have expected it. Wounded is an understatement. Betrayed does not quite cover the full spectrum of your pain. And yet, you covered your wound and moved forward. Again and again. Trying to be accepted. You began to sacrifice parts of who you are or who you were. Those parts that did not quite match with everyone else. You began to shift, to change, not truly, superficially, to appease those who only noticed enough to make fun of your effort. So you switched to a new group, to a new place, a new approach. And for a while, you seemed to assimilate. For a while. After a time, you found it easier to become what was necessary rather than to be who you are or who you were. So much so, and in spite of that fact, that you still encountered pain. You still encountered what felt like betrayal. Because each time that you shifted, that you changed, that you morphed, oh, it was quite convincing, but not completely convincing. Not because of lack of effort, not because of fumbling, because you, who this all hinged upon, knew that it was insincere. You knew that you were only playing a role to get along. The problem with being who you are not is that you're not familiar with all that that role requires. There will ever be a circumstance, a situation, something that you were not prepared for. And then, in that moment, the disguise, which is truly what it was, it is discovered. And that pain, regardless of whatever else you endured to keep up the facade, the pain of it not being enough, that hurt more. So you vowed to improve your skill, and over time you did. You became practically flawless, effortlessly slipping into one persona or another. Gracefully becoming everyone, anyone but yourself, until one day you forgot who you were. There was no memory of who began all this. That is the true tragedy that I speak to now. That so many of us have changed, have adapted after pain that we did not seek, that we did not expect, that we did not deserve. But long ago gave up attempting to understand why. Each arrow to your heart became more of a notification than an injury. It signaled time to move on. I see you. What was the last pain? What most recently caused your heart to skip a beat? To wonder if there was a point in continuing to beat at all. A relationship, a friendship, family, something in your profession, somewhere that you once again made the mistake of allowing yourself to trust. Trust to the point of revealing, if only a sliver of who you believe you used to be, who you believe you were beneath it all. Something you could not be completely sure about because that was the one person you have not been in so long. Life after life, the lesson goes unlearned. And you wonder why. How is it that I pull this off so eloquently, so perfectly? I don't become tired. You tell yourself again and again, I do not understand. It is elementary. The facade eventually falls because you yearn to be sincere, to be true to yourself. But as surely as you know the next role will be challenging and fulfilling once you master whomever you become, you know that it is not, will not be, cannot ever be truly you. All to please, all to be loved. I see you. You no longer wear your heart on your sleeve. Because who keeps sleeves? You find it better to tuck that part of you away. I see you. I want you to know that right now, that first part of you still exists, and it is priceless. The problem lies in the fact that you do not know where you last put that part of you down. That fraction of who you truly are is as lost as treasure, and just as valuable. So, for now, take solace in the fact that when you are here, when you join and gather with us at the midnight hour, you are committing to beginning the search to find you. And the rest of us are here to help, just as you help us to remember who we truly are. But first things first, I'm going to challenge you, every one of you, every bit of you. You must drop the persona. You must let go of the facade. It is not a matter of throwing open the curtains. There are no curtains. Even if you must start as a blank slate, it is better to begin with that new page, quiet, attentive, authentically spotless, where you may actually have an opportunity to feel the pull, to hear the call of your original self. This will not be easy. You have become so accustomed to hiding behind who you become. Careful to let few to none too close. All the while screaming inside for someone to try, for someone to look, for someone to actually see, if only a fragment, you. They will not until you can see yourself. It will be frightening. You will lose some that you never imagined you could. I would tell you that you will gain others in swaths, in groups. You will not. Because when those that you lose are truly gone, that pain will resonate, and you will not want to expose yourself to that again, to allow yourself to be vulnerable. But that is exactly what I am asking you to do. Not for the rest of the world, only for the eyes that stare so often into the mirror. It is not vanity. It's partly because you do not recognize who you are looking at, and partly because you hope to see a glimmer of who you used to be. Please, let slip your mask. Release the veil. Step into the sunlight with no disguise. And when it feels almost unbearable, bear it. Do not return to who you were or who you pretended to be. This will not resonate with all of you. It is not meant to. For those that know exactly of what I speak, rest now. Relax. Get what you need. Join me as we search for the true you. And our primary tool will be, of course, a bit more mellow morning magic. Lit. Mellow morning magic. This is the Midnight Hour. This was not our normal meeting protocol. I understand that. I had an array, a plethora of other topics, of other approaches for today, which I realize is July 4th. You cannot celebrate your independence until you become independent. To do that, you have to recover you. That original spark is not lost. There is a wonderfully exciting, thriving part of you waiting to be found, eagerly anticipating your arrival back at who you were. I speak to you from experience as one who is still searching, but so much closer than I have ever been. Find yourself, beloved. My chameleons. Shift only once more. Back to you. Journey well. Stay safe.